Shai Gilgeous Alexander has established himself as one of the best guards in the league, but there are a few players who think SGA gets more credit than he deserves. First, let's start with JJ Redick's bold prediction about SGA.
The bold prediction of 2024, we are allowed to talk about the MVP. So let's sort of break down, because I think Shai obviously has a case right now for MVP.
Shai has been on an absolute heater. It seems as if no one can guard this Canadian superstar. He can get to his spot at will and score in the paint as efficiently as any big man in the league. Now that is simply absurd. He is also elevating his teammates to another level along with his scoring output, which is why Shaq even went as far as to say that SGA is better than Luka Doncic. Just take a listen to what the big Aristotle had to say.
Shaq or Luka?
I'm gonna have to take him.
Wow.
Luka's a favorite player, but this kid, listen, he plays the right way, gets his teammates involved, and when he puts his head down and goes to the basket, no one.
Shaq, we're talking about right now. Right now?
Right now, the numbers are similar.
Yeah, I'm taking him right now. He's definitely emerged as one of my favorite players.
Now that is a pretty bold pick, as Luka is also having one of the best seasons of his career. It just goes to show you how great SGA really is. But not everyone is as convinced as Shaq. Gilbert Arenas and Shannon Sharp discussed Luka versus SGA and came to a different conclusion. This is what the two of them had to say.
I'm gonna have to disagree with Big Fella.
Yeah,
I'm taking Luka.
I mean, Luka's resume and how he plays and the specialties that he brings you, I can't.
I mean, he averages more points, more rebounds, more assists.
Now, regardless of who you're taking, you cannot deny that SGA is a superstar. Part of his superstardom credit goes to his mentor and friend, Chris Paul. CP3 has always spoken highly of Shai, and he seems to be happy that the entire world is seeing how special this young fella is. This is what Chris Paul had to say.
I mean this when I say it, and I try not to get emotional when I talk about Shai, man, because that was my first year living without my family, right? Without my wife and my kids in LA. And man, Shai, he just a basketball head, right? You show me somebody love basketball and crazy about their family, then me and them gonna be tight, right?
SGA's obsession with basketball is pretty evident in the way he has improved his game from one year to the next. When he first entered the league, scouts thought he would be a good role player, maybe a low-level all-star, but he has turned into a superstar. This is why many people believe the Clippers messed up trading SGA for Paul George. However, PG thinks the trade was a win-win for both organizations. This is what PG had to say about Shai.
Shai is nice. Like I don't even know who to compare him to. Like he's got his own lane. Like, and people don't understand. He's bigger than you think. He might look small like on court, but he's like 6'6", bro. And he's like, is he a guard? Is he a point? Is he a shoot? Like his game is just, but he's nice.
Doc Rivers was the head coach of the Clippers when they traded Shai for PG-13, but if it was up to Doc, he would never have pulled the trigger on that trade. He valued SGA way too much. Just take a listen to what Doc had to say.
Was happy. Having said that, I did bring it up, and I did say, man, can we give them somebody else? Like, we cannot give up Shai. I even told Kawhi when he was saying, like, I need another guy. And Kawhi will verify. I kept saying, Kawhi, Shai's going to be a star.
Now, it seems like the entire league is catching up on what Doc knew, because Jeff Teague discussed the SGA Paul George trade on his podcast and ended up picking SGA over PG. This is what he had to say.
I'll take Shai. I'm taking Shai, bro. Right now, to this day,
bro.
Paul George.
Shai cold.
He top 5 in the league, cold.
Paulie P different. Paulie P is too.
Top 5 in the league right now?
Paulie P.
bro.
But not everyone seems to be so enamored by SGA's play. Another young superstar, Anthony Edwards, believes that one of the reasons why it is so hard to guard Shai is because the refs bail him out and give him a friendly whistle. Saying, "It's hard to contain them with the calls that Shai gets," Edwards said. "It is hard to shut them down. You can't touch him any time of the game. It is super hard to beat. That team is a good team, especially when they're getting calls like that." Pat Bev chimed in on this back and forth and loved that the young stars were competing with each other on and off the court. As far as Bev is concerned, the NBA is in great hands when the young players are so competitive. This is what Pat Bev had to say.
The NBA's in really, really good hands. I'm gonna say that first. I wouldn't call it beef. Competition. I like it. Go at each other. Guard each other. Shoot step backs on each other. Yank each other. Right, left each other. Yeah, lay each other. Dunk each other. I love that shit. Both know I love y'all to death. I want to see it all. I want to see y'all go crazy at each other.
Now, another person who is loving how the young stars are leading their teams to wins is Draymond Green. Draymond sees SGA as not only a problem for years to come, but as someone who should be in the MVP conversation. This is what Draymond had to say.
They have to be reckoned with. Shai Gilgeous Alexander is first team All-NBA performer, a problem. Not sure why he's not higher up in the MVP conversation. Incredible.
Jokic is another superstar who sees Shai as a problem. Jokic is considered to be one of the smartest players in the league, so if he can't see any flaws in your game, that is saying something. But the thing he loves most about SGA is that he wants to win rather than just pile up individual stats. This is what Jokic had to say about SGA.
Good numbers, he's a problem in this league. The good thing about him, he wants to win. You know, he doesn't care about numbers. He wants to win, and I think that's the best thing about him.
The league is full of high-level talent, which can make it tough to narrow down just 10 players as the best 10 in the world. But because of how exceptional SGA has been, Andre Iguodala believes that SGA has earned that top 10 status. This is what Iggy had to say about SGA.
Ty Jerome was arguing that SGA was a top 10 player in the league. And I'm like, you crazy. But then the way he broke it down and then we played him and what he did to us, I'm looking like, listen, man, I might have to really consider that. Like, I'm not mad at that. And I'm a huge fan.
The part of SGA's game that stands out the most is his effortless scoring ability. Kevin Durant would know a thing or two about effortless scoring, which is why it is great to hear him compliment Shai in the way that he has mastered the offensive system. This is what KD had to say.
The craft that he's got with the basketball, knowing how to score at this level, I think that's the one big adjustment that natural scorers, you got to come up here and adjust to different ways to score with the timing and the refs and the sets and the spacing. So I think he's mastered who he wants to be on that side of the basketball. And with that length and athleticism, it's going to be tough to guard him. So they got a bright future.
Now, it seems as if most of the league is taken aback by how great SGA really is and can't help but praise all aspects of his game. There are a few haters sprinkled in there, but they might become fans sooner or later like the rest of the NBA community.